Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a challenge. I'm not sure if anyone's done this in the past or is doing this right now, but I thought it'd be a super fun challenge or idea to build a Lego set using only one color. So we're starting it off simple. Hopefully this becomes some sort of a ongoing challenge type thing, but today we're just starting off with a super classic, super simple, super basic set. And that is the Lego Clone Walker Battle Pack. Now, again, this thing came out a really long time ago. Super old, classic Lego set. Super just simple walker. Here it is, just a super easy, basic set. And the challenge is going to be to make this set using only one color. So, here's a closer look at the Lego Clone Walker. You can see it's a couple different pieces, a couple different colored pieces. We have some dark gray here, dark gray back here, as well as on the feet. There's also some light gray, mostly light gray. There's a lot of light gray around. That's the main color of this set. Also some green and black, as you can see in there and there, as well as the white on the sticker and the orange for these little light type things. So the challenge today is going to be to build this exact set using only this light gray color. So the challenge is to build this entire set again using only light gray. So without further ado, I want to make this video a little quicker than the last one. Let's get started. I'm going to start off by finding all the pieces here and then we'll build it. Once again, I have completely and utterly destroyed our basement. Not even usable, and you can't even walk through here without stepping on Legos now. But it was worth it. I was finding a lot of these pieces. Originally for this one piece challenge, I was actually going to make the set out of this this dark gray here. So I was finding a good amount of pieces actually, and I thought it'd be really cool to have this walker in this dark gray. But I started running into a couple problems. One example is right here, this connector piece. This is an integral part of the leg, and I was unable to find it in that dark gray color. Same thing with this smaller connector. I was only finding it in light gray, could not find it in the dark gray. Also, this torpedo shooter right here, could not find in dark gray. And I could have made some substitutions, but I decided just to scrap the dark gray and instead build this walker out of all of this light gray color, completely light gray. So I started collecting some of the pieces. And a lot of the pieces you can see here me collecting, these were already supposed to be light gray in the set. So they were pretty easy to find. I already knew that I was going to have those around. So yeah, like you can see, these pieces already needed to be light gray for the set. Those little torpedo shooter things. These pieces, a lot of these pieces already had in light gray because again, it was supposed to be light gray in the original set. So here I am digging through some of these pieces. This is when it starts to get to some of the pieces that were not supposed to be light gray. For example, this little seat piece, I was having a really tough time finding in light gray. Eventually I did. These foot pieces, these foot pieces for the walker, these were already supposed to be in light gray. So that was good. I already had a bunch of those. And I was finding a lot of pieces, but I started running into a couple problems. For example, this piece right here took me a really long time to find in all light gray. Eventually I did, but I knew that there was going to be some difficult parts coming up just because it didn't come in light gray in the set. For example, I'll show it right here, the foot connector pieces. This took me like a half an hour to find in light gray. And I'm not really sure why because it's a pretty generic piece, but I was unable to find that for like literally half an hour. Here we have some of the gray cheese piece to go in place of that orange light you see on the original set. I put those in. This is where I started to get creative because I was unable to find some of the pieces that I needed in the light gray color. For example, this torpedo shooter right here. Yeah, that's a good look at it. This dark gray torpedo shooter, I could not find in the light gray color. And I'm not sure if Lego makes it in light gray, but I decided to get creative and instead build my own. So this is my version of that gray torpedo shooter. Decided to go with that. It was still going to work just the same. This is another piece. I'm not sure if Lego makes this in a light gray. They might. I did not have any. I only had it in dark gray. So I decided instead of this dark gray piece with that little hole for the foot of the walker, I was going to go with a 3-stud light gray piece. There you can see where it fits on the walker. So it's just on the bottom there. It's not integral to the set, so I figured it'd be pretty substitutable. So I decided to switch it out with this 3x2 light gray, but then I realized that the connector piece was going to go on the foot just like that. So I wasn't able to use the 3x2. So instead I used a 2x2, and that seemed to work really well. It actually looked pretty much the same as the original set there. So that was all good. So yeah, here I am, all finished. I found all the parts. That was the last of it. So now the only thing left to do is build.
Ryan Little.
Alright, so the Clone Walker is done. It took me literally 5 minutes to make, but here we are. It took a lot less time to find the pieces for this set, all in the same color than it did to find that Separatist shuttle that I built in my last video. But yeah, so here it is. We'll take a closer look at this, and then we're going to compare it to the original set and what it's supposed to look like. So here is the walker a little closer. I also put some lotion on my hands because these things look crusty in the other clips. I just realized. But yeah, here we are. It is all complete. Again, like you saw in the previous videos, the only things that I had to change were right here, these little torpedo shooters. As far as I know, I don't believe Lego makes those little torpedo shooters in right here. These things, I don't think they make them in this light gray color. Correct me if I'm wrong. If they do, I don't have any. Also, I did not have any of those. The 3, it's like 2, and then it has the little hole at the bottom. This thing right here also did not have that. So it looks a little different. But overall, general shape stayed the same. Everything else is the same, just all light gray as the original set. First things first, I mean, looking at this set, it does look pretty bland. I mean, it's cool, like the shape is the same, like I said, so it's, you know, it looks like the set, but it's just a little more basic, a little more bland. Well, let's just compare it right away. I mean, here is the other set. As you can see, pretty much everything stayed the same. Same overall shape. I did not have another sticker for this, but again, all light gray. I wanted to keep it all light gray here, so no sticker there. But otherwise, yeah, same build, just that light gray. Honestly, looking at them both together, I do prefer the original set. This looks more like a Republic set, more like a Lego set. This one, it looks like the mock maybe for this set, you know, no colors. They just want to get the overall shape. It still looks pretty cool. Like, it's still a cool walker, but I definitely prefer the original here. The one color challenge, it was fun, it was cool, it's cool to make. I definitely want to do more of other sets, maybe some larger sets. That'd be a ton of fun. But yeah, I definitely prefer the original set over this all light gray. But let's look at it with a couple clones in it to see if that makes a difference. Okay, so I put 2 clones in the original set here, in the original walker. And here are 2 clones in the all gray walker. And honestly, the clones add a lot to this set. It looks way better with the clones in there. I think it's the contrast between the white and the light gray, just adding something. Without the clones, it looked very bland, but with the clones, it looks a lot more like a military vehicle. Not necessarily something from the Clone Wars series like this one does. I still think this looks a lot more Star Wars-esque, as in like Lego Star Wars-esque. But this looks a lot more militaristic of a walker, and I actually really like it with those clones in there. It looks a lot better than it does without the clones, which is probably to be expected. But yeah, overall, it looks way better with the clones in there. Honestly, I still think I prefer this original set over the all gray, but this all gray set was a ton of fun to make. And I mean, aside from the fact that it really doesn't have any color, like if I picked a different color to do, maybe all green or something, it would maybe stand out a little more. But just all color, all one color, it looks not like something that Lego would produce. So it's hard to wrap my brain around a little bit. But it looks, again, with those clones, it actually looks pretty aesthetic, pretty good. So with that said, I'm going to end this video right now. That is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was actually a lot of fun to make. It was a lot of fun to find all one color for like the same set. And it was pretty fun to build too. Like it, very nostalgic because I've had multiple of these walkers. So just to build it in a different color was a lot of fun. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know, because I have a ton of battle packs and a couple other sets that I could definitely see myself doing all one color and building everything out of the same color. Maybe even this, but in a different color, this same walker. It would be a lot of fun. But yeah, it was also a lot of fun to troubleshoot some of these pieces that Lego didn't make or I didn't have in this gray color. For example, the torpedo shooters here and those little 2x2s on the feet. It was fun to troubleshoot and fun to come up with a couple different ways that I could make it look relatively the same and have the same build overall. So yeah, I would definitely enjoy doing this in the future, all this like the same color set. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed.